Hey friends, it's Ange from Plans with Ange, and today I'm bringing you guys a different kind of video. So if you have not noticed, you're not only seeing my hands this time, you are actually seeing my face. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about Go Wild, and I've had a couple of friends reach out to me and kind of ask my opinion and what I thought about that. So before we get into all those details, I want to know, have you guys been to Go Wild before? Or have you guys been to a planner conference in general? Let me know in the comments below and we can definitely connect. So Go Wild 2022. So I just bought my ticket probably the end of December, and I was just hinting to my husband. I was like, man, I wish I can go to this conference. And he goes, do it. And I was like, what? He goes, do it. I said, babe, it's in Anaheim, California. And the theme was Planaheim. And we live in Minnesota. And I was like, are you sure? Like, we have 3 children. He's like, do it. I was like, I'm about to buy my ticket now. If you are serious, I'm doing this right now. And so I bought my ticket before he could change his mind. And then everything else just kind of fell into place. And I was able to go to my first really big conference. I did go to a conference in 2018, I believe, in Tulsa. And that was really fun for me to go, and it was only 100 people. But for me, that was still a lot because I've never been to a planner conference. And it was still a really cool experience that I've got to enjoy. Okay, so let's just get into the questions. So the first question that everyone is always asking about is swag. What did you think about the swag? What kind of swag did you get? Things like that. So I felt that I got really loaded with swag. I know I've heard mixed emotions about that. For a lot of people, it was really hard for them during this time. They just had their conference. This was supposed to be the 5th Go Wild, and they had to postpone it 2 different times. So this was the 3rd date that they had made, and it finally kind of, worked together. So it was March 3rd through the 5th. And I was gone March 2nd to the 6th for travel days. I felt like I got an abundance amount because you're talking when you first get into the conference, and I'll explain all the details later, but generally talking about swag, a lot of the shops, in the planner community donate tables, okay? And then some of them will donate the stuff on the tables. And then, little shops will donate here and there. And then you got swag drops that are coming in, or swag fairies, which are at your table as well. And they're bringing in lots of planner goodies, to your table. And then the second full day is table mate gifts. So that's a lot of swag too, I would think. I put it all together. Yes, I've heard and I've seen from other videos that you did get more in previous years. But like I said, COVID hit a lot of people really hard. And for some of them, this is their business. So, when the world shut down, so did everything else, kind of thing. So I felt really blessed by the amount of swag that I got. I would have liked more and different things because I've heard in the past, oh, you would get this. And sometimes they give like really big gifts like that. And someone made a comment about, COVID affecting other people and what that meant to others. So I kind of had to switch my mindset. And I'm really a thankful person in general, so it kind of worked out in general. But yes, I think I got a great deal of swag. But that all will come in a future video soon because I've got my table gift, my table swag for the sponsored table that I sat at. And then some of them, I also had like the swag fairies that came that day. And then also the next day was table mate gifts. Roommate gifts is a separate thing, but table mate gifts that we had as well. on the tables, and then people just all around just giving out free stuff. And I felt bad. I didn't have the stuff, but it's okay. You don't have to give out stuff. I just felt like a loser because everyone was giving me stuff. And I'm like, thank you, but I'm sorry I don't have anything in return. But it wasn't about that at all. And I felt really good after a couple of times. And I just said, thank you, when I accepted it. And like one person, I literally hunted her down on the last day because she was saying, oh, I have this much Swag Lab, this is what I got. And I really wanted her little like shop sample that she was passing out. So like I was hunting her down and looking for her just to find this sticker pack. If I show it, I'll post it in a different video. So the second question is organization. Okay, so if you didn't know, Go Wild is a huge planner group. And on Facebook, they have Planners Gone Wild. And there is like over 60,000 people in the group. Okay. And then at this conference, they have 1,600 tickets that are being sold. 1,400 of those are for the attendings, as in myself. And 200 are for volunteers. And then you have to figure in, there's, the table sponsors and there's shop owners that are there, paying for their stuff as well. It was not organized at all. And I hate to say that because it is a huge event. And like the first day, they have people like lines, huge lines out the door trying to find the best table that there was, okay? So my roommate, I love her to death, but she did not sleep the night before. And I know this because I woke up like 3 different times, and then finally at like 4 in the morning, she left. And I was like, I can't handle this anymore. Like, I'm gonna get up because I just kept hearing her. And like, I'm really a nervous sleeper. So if I know someone's there and they're not there with me, I'm just like, where are they? Where are they at? Just kind of a nervous thing, but that's something different that doesn't pertain to this video. But anyways, I got ready. So mind you, again, I live in Minnesota, so that is Central Time, and we are in California, which is Pacific Time, I believe. We're 2 hours behind. So I ended up getting up at like 5 in the morning, which is 7 o'clock my time. Basically not sleeping in at all. I did not sleep in at all at Go Wild. So I got ready and I went downstairs and I found her, and she was in line already, and she was telling me stories how some people were already in line at like 1 in the morning trying to get the best table. And again, there isn't a best table, and I don't think there was a reason for waiting in line, because this is where the organization comes in. We were towards the front door, where it was going to be in the California Ballroom, I believe it was called. And so we are facing them, and we're probably like 15 people behind. We were pretty close to the front. And they have another door to the far right. And I've seen a lot of people over there thinking that they were in line as well. But where we were at, there was like these line barricader things. So I knew we were in the right line. Excuse me. So, and then all of a sudden, like, people are going around in like circles, and they're cycling through the whole entire line. They had people zigzagging through everything. My friend Natalie, I've seen her a couple times. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, they keep moving the line. Like, when I say it was unorganized, they did not have a system to how the line was supposed to go. So people were just like, okay, I'm right here. This is my line. This is where I'm gonna be. And it was so unorganized at all. But there was a lot of talk because where we were at, they're like, I hope they don't open the doors over there, because that's not fair to us or the people who are ahead of us that have been waiting since like 1 a.m. For their table, because that wouldn't be right. Honestly, I don't remember what was going on, because it was like 15 minutes to, and we're getting ready, we're standing up, and the doors aren't still opening. And it was 8 o'clock, the doors aren't opening. And then finally, like 8:05, they opened, and people were just swarming in, and you don't have to rush in, but the people, they were rushing in. I was like trying to take my time, and then I was like, ooh, I need to record this. I'm getting my phone out, and then they're like, mask, you need your mask, and I'm like, oh crap. So I'm trying to dig through my bag, trying to find my stuff, and then I missed the moment of, you know, coming in with everyone else with my phone, trying to put up an IG story. It didn't work out. That's okay. So I didn't even know what happened to the other table over to the right of me, but I just went through and just kept going back, and I was like, the table will call me. I'm just gonna go in. And there was, I think, 100 tables there. And some shops sponsored like 10 tables each. Like some of the bigger shops, like Avery, I know a shop sponsored like 10 tables. Zebra, Mildliners, they sponsored a bunch. Happy Planner, obviously, sponsored a bunch. There was Erin Condren. I felt so bad because like there was only one table filled of Erin Condren. No one else sat at Erin Condren. I feel so bad about it. But anyways, I decided to sit, I was all the way on the other side of the room, and I sat at Zebra, Mildliners, and I just seen it and I was like, I have to get this. And my roommate was like, ooh, is there any more seats next to me? I said, right here, but you have to let me know, because going in, I was like, I'm not saving seats. If you want to sit by me, that's cool, but I would suggest we sit different places, just because, you know, if we want to swap or do something and see each other's swag, so we're not getting the same stuff. And she ended up finally, because I'm glad I didn't wait for her, because I would have lost my spot, because it literally took her like 15 minutes just to find a table, and she sat like 2 tables behind me from where I was at, and she ended up sitting at another Zebra table, but she got different stuff than me, but some of the stuff was the same, but it was okay. And then our other friend that we met was behind my table, and she sat at a Happy Planner table that had like cross-stitching type stuff. I'm not really sure. She likes Happy Planner. I like Happy Planner. I just don't use it enough, so it didn't really pertain to me. But yeah, so that was one example of how unorganized the event is. Another one that kind of frustrates me still to this day. So after some of the events in the afternoon, you have the rest of the time to do whatever. And it was the Friday was the day of the big event. So the tables were opened and stuff like that. So Friday, after our event, before we were gonna go get lunch, we went to go, so before lunch, we decided that we wanted to go to one of the photo booths that Christiane Designs was sponsoring. So it was me, my roommate, and our friend that we had met up with, that we were gonna, you know, hang out with. And we got our pictures, and they're like, okay, we're gonna be here till 2. And I'm like, well, how long is it gonna take? Because it was like 1 o'clock. And they're like, it'll take a little while. And then the Wi-Fi shut down. And I was like, okay, can we just come back, you know, and pick them up? They're like, yes, look for so-and-so. And I was like, okay, good, got it. We'll find them. So we came back. It was before, what was it that night? I don't remember what was happening. I don't have, my phone is in front of me. So there was an event coming up that we were getting ready to go to. We're like, okay, we'll just wait, you know, and we'll come back and figure this out. So we end up coming back, and they're like, oh, your pictures aren't here. They were given to such and such person. And I was like, okay, where are they at? I don't know. They're just in charge of the group. I was like, okay. So I'm asking some of the volunteers, hey, do you know who this person is? Yeah, they were over there. So we go find them over there, and they're like, they're not there. Where are they at? I don't know. So fast forward to Plan Jamma, which was Saturday night. They had another Christiane Designs. And we asked the people, hey, do you know have you guys seen the photos? And it was a different guy working that night, but he was so helpful, and which made it much better. So he made it so much easier for us, and he was so helpful and just willing to help us. And so we asked him, you know, for the photos, you know, and so he called the guy who was working the previous day about them. And he said, oh yeah, they're at this person has them. And they're like, they don't. We've been looking all over. They don't have the photos. We found out later that the person never had them at all. And so no one really knew where they were at. So they found them in the video feed from before, and they were trying to print them off. Well, then they couldn't get access to the old photos. And we're like, what the heck? And you can see people in line are just getting really mad at us. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are getting mad. They're like, I don't care. Like, we came here to look for our photos. They said they had them, and they don't. I was like, okay, fine. So we basically had to redo our photos. So mind you, we were able to sign up and get text of the photo. So I have it text, but it's not as convenient to just print them off on my phone as a physical copy is. So that was really, that was a really big bummer. And still to this day, we don't have our photos. And they said once they print them off and go through them all, they'll give them over to Chrissy Ann Designs. And today is, as I'm recording this, it is April 10th, I believe. And our event, that was on March 3rd, 4th, whatever it was. Still don't have it. Never heard anything about it yet. So we took new pictures, which was fine. It's just that wasn't the idea behind it, but just how unorganized they are. I'm not going to keep going into all this because I can just spill out more details about how unorganized the event was. But would I go again is my other question. Yes, I would definitely go again. Aside from the swag, aside from how unorganized it is, 10 out of 10, I would definitely go again. Yes, it is a bit pricey, and I will talk about that. I developed a friendship with my roommate that we met online. I was in the Facebook group that was specific for Planaheim and trying to find a roommate, and I basically just hunted her down and made sure until she answered if she was available, yes or no. And then she finally responded. And then we just kept connecting on Messenger over and over again until our event. So from January to March, we just kept getting to know each other. And now I have like a lifelong friend. And I also met other friends there. My roommate, her name is Susie. And then also we met another girl, Dawn, who was sitting behind me at Go Wild the first day. We also met her. We did stuff together, which was really fun. So those two together are like my friends, like lifelong friends. And I joked with them the first day because we went to, was it Thursday? We went to Erin Condren and we went to Daiso and we went for lunch. But I joked with them because there was two other girls in the car that we were with. And I'm 32. And I was joking with them. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in a car with a bunch of 50-year-olds. Mind you, they're in the early 50s. And you can't even tell that they are. But it was just something funny that we did. Because if you get to know me, I'm kind of sassy. It just depends on if you get to know that part. So I just want to talk about Go Wild in general and what that really is. So, and just details about Go Wild. So Go Wild, my ticket costs $519. I did not upgrade it to anything. It was just a standard ticket price. And then you have like a processing fee or something and tax and all that stuff. So it came out to like $560 or something like that, which again is not bad at all. It did not include a lot of things. So my ticket. And then if you wanted to, they had a budget summit. So that cost a bit more on your ticket. Or they had a shop summit, which also added more to your ticket. I declined both of them because I don't need to do that kind of stuff. So I didn't. And then you pay for your hotel. So my roommate and I, we shared together. So we split the cost 50-50. Well, there was that. That kind of equaled itself out. And then the flight there. So overall, I think I spent about $1,500 for my ticket, my flight, and my hotel. Because we stayed at the Marriott Hotel, I think it was. It was an expensive hotel. I know that. Never been to something such high class in my life. I kept telling everybody I don't get out this much because this is new to me and I don't do this stuff. I have 3 boys at home. Like, I don't do this stuff. So that was nice. And then I brought spending money too to see how much I spent. And I did not remember how much I spent because after I got home, I was like, oh, I still have cash on me. I'm just going to spend this. Okay, so like I stated, Go Wild this year was in Anaheim, California. They've had 4 other Go Wild since then, and they've been to Vegas, they've been to Austin. Honestly, those are the 2 big ones that I remember. I don't know because I've never been a part of it. I've been, you know, a stalker in Planners Gone Wild Facebook group forever, but I've never been. So they're all over. So right now they're trying to decide where the next one is going to be. And a lot of them have been on the East Coast. They've seen somewhere, some of the people over in New York and now in Florida. As of yesterday, it was in Florida. And they were joking on April Fool's Day that it was Antarctica. So that's just something that's funny. So I don't know what's going to be like. I would like to go again next year. I don't know if I can do it every year, but my husband really wants me to go more often than I should, because I've never been. And this was my first time away from the children and kids. So it was a huge thing for me to be able to do this experience. And like I said, I would do it again in a heartbeat. Put aside the swag, the gifts, everything. Just meeting the people that I did and establishing those friendships was a lasting impression on me. And I still miss them so much. I was joking to my nephew when I was putting all my swag on the table on my bed so I could make a photo that I had the Go Wild blues, because just of how much those friendships have meant to me. And being someone as like an introvert like myself, I don't have many friends, and I moved back to Minnesota to be closer to my friend, and then she moved back to Oklahoma where we left. And I had a conference there. We had a group there that we met with, and I started it back up again and was meeting with them, and I haven't been able to connect with people who are like me and they get me. So this was huge for me. I'm not trying to get emotional, but this Go Wild was big for me, and I really enjoyed my experience that I had there. So if you have the time and the resources, I would definitely recommend that you go to Go Wild. I got to meet some of my friends, who I met at the Tulsa Planner Conference, and then she came to Go Wild, and we're still friends on Instagram. We talk all the time, so it was really fun to connect with Billy. And then I got to meet my friend Natalie, who I've been friends with her for about a year, you know, just Instagram, on Instagram. But they really say that planner friends do make the best friends. So that is all that I really have for you guys today regarding Go Wild and the questions that I have. If you guys have any more questions, please let me know in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I don't know if I have any more videos planned out where you will see the face. Probably not. It's more of just the hands that are coming up. But now that this one is done, I can work on the Go Wild swag and stuff like that. I might do it all in one video, or I might have to split it up between sponsor table and swag berries and table make gifts, because it's a lot of stuff. But we'll see, because it's kind of all blended together now. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but more videos will be coming. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and you can follow me on Instagram at Plans with Ange, the same way that you found me here on YouTube at Plans with Ange. But that's all I have. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!